Gareth Bale closing in on a move from Real Madrid to Spurs. For more, we welcome in Shaka, Hislop. We welcome back Craig Burley. Craig, simply put, is Gareth Bale the player that Spurs need?
Spurs need better players than what they have, right? It's as simple as that. That's why they were a country mile off the top four last year. That's why their football was quite pedestrian, albeit the manager will have to take some of the blame for that. But a fit Gareth Bale clearly improves Tottenham Hotspur. If the desire is there to go and pull that white shirt on again, if the fitness is there, you need better players. Gareth Bale is a much better player than what they have. So it's quite a simple answer.
Shaka, I'm the village cynic on this show. Do you see any chance, we talked about this on yesterday's show, that this just blows up? We know Mourinho's hard-headed. We saw in Madrid Bale can be the same. Recipe for disaster?
Potentially, when you ask it like that. The thing for me is this revolves around whether Mourinho's style of football that we saw for a lot of last season, that we were critical of him during his time at Manchester United, if that changes. Because if it doesn't, I think he has a problem, and a very expensive problem, on his hands with Gareth Bale. But the addition of Gareth Bale almost forces Spurs to play a certain way, to play better. This time last week, we were talking about Spurs not having an outlet in the way that Everton did in James Rodriguez. Gareth Bale gives them that. Gareth Bale gives them pace. He gives them focus. This time last week, we were talking about Harry Kane's body language and whether, if this continued, how much longer he would stay at Spurs. Gareth Bale's arrival, I think, sends a sound of intention to the likes of Harry Kane and Son about where this club sees themselves now and where they want to go. It sends a sound of intention to prospective other signings who may be considering coming to the Premier League, and Spurs is an option. That they know that this is who Spurs see themselves being, who they see themselves attracting, and the direction that they want to go. But to your question, Seb, it can unravel quickly if Mourinho doesn't change and he continues to be hard-headed. And as Craig alluded to, if Gareth Bale has the same kind of injury issues that we saw during the worst of his times in Madrid, and all of a sudden is playing 10 or 12 games this season, then it blows up in everybody's faces.
When Gareth Bale was parading up and down Premier League pitches for Tottenham Hotspur pre-Real Madrid move, he was playing for that big move. He was setting the platform for that huge move to Madrid or any other big club. This is a Gareth Bale coming back who's achieved all there is to achieve in club football, who has ridiculed, in a sense, Real Madrid and his teammates with his golf comments, the sleeping at the stadium and the leaving early. I don't have a major problem with some of it, but it antagonised a lot of people. On top of that, he's had the fitness issues. So the big question here is the desire effect. The fitness and the desire is how hungry is Gareth Bale. If Gareth Bale wants to come back and is fit and is ready to excite the Tottenham fans and can get on the ball and make things happen, then if I'm Harry Kane, as Shaka said, then I'm happy, because you only got to look at Harry Kane last week in the match against Everton, and the supply chain was dry. You know, Christian Eriksen's not there anymore, hasn't been there for 7 or 8 months. He's at Inter Milan. So the supply chain has been steadily drying up for Harry Kane. This will at least give some of the players in the forward area a bit more excitement about what might be for Tottenham in the future, because, as we've suggested, some of these big players for Spurs have not looked particularly happy with the style. So it is really a 50-50 call here for all the reasons that Shaq and I have mentioned. But Tottenham have to do something, because other teams around them have been signing players. They've been pushing on. We've seen Arsenal change the manager, re-sign Aubameyang. We've seen Chelsea sign a host of young, talented players. City and Liverpool making signings, are going to make signings. Tottenham have to do something. Mourinho knows this, and this, hopefully, if you're a Tottenham fan, is the first step to improvement.
Yeah, Craig, it looks like they're close to not just getting Gareth Bale, but Sergio Ramos as well, the left back from Real Madrid, courtesy via Sevilla as well. Shaka, with those two improvements, do they have a top four-worthy squad, Spurs?
They do if Gareth Bale plays 30 games this season. I think Gareth Bale adds so much to this Spurs side, as Craig was just alluding to, in terms of service from wide areas, having an outlet, the pace of their play. Let's remember how good he is from dead balls in and or just outside the boxes, as well. His service from wide areas or shooting directly at goal more centrally. He gives them a lot, but as I keep saying, the caveat around that is how many games he plays this season. He gets up around the 30-32 mark. I think Spurs potentially can finish top four.
Craig, Bale and Reguilón no doubt make Spurs better. How much better in your opinion?
Not good enough for me to make the top four, but should be fighting for it. You don't, it's a given in my opinion that Tottenham and Arsenal should at least be fighting for the top four, minimum, absolute minimum. And you don't bring Jose Mourinho in to fight for Europa League places. You just don't. And so the expectation there, whilst not fighting for a title, Tottenham fans should at least expect A, the football to be better, and 2, the results to be enough that they're at least with 6, 7, 8 games left in the season in with a sniff of getting in the top four. That's why you bring elite level managers in, and Mourinho has to prove he is still an elite level manager.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.